and today I made the Rent Kingdom from Bannerfall in The Sims 4. So I first started with the Sims that I've already made before from other videos and just in general. So I started with Martin. There's not much to do with him. I made his outfit green, but how are you gonna make a Sim a frog, you may ask? Because he is a frog. Well, I found this. I genuinely, whoever makes these things, I love you. You're funny for this. This is so funny. So I gave him a frog head, but he's actually not green. He's more of like this yellow color. There was no yellow, so this is the closest I'm gonna get. That's a kind of theme I'm gonna have with this group of Sims. Closest I'm gonna get. But anyways, that is Martin, and he's all done. Then I moved on to Sausage, but real quick I had to fix Owen. Not like it made him any handsomer. He's still so ugly. But anyways, I decided to go with this kind of wizard robe thing that he had. I don't know why it makes him have, it adds some great proportions to his body, is what I'll leave it as. Anyway, so I added the scar from his face. It's not completely accurate, but what would be. Then I gave him a cloak. I don't know if I like the cloak or not, but we're done. That's him. I think he looks pretty good. Then I moved on to Oppo. I had to take a little break to look at Abolish because he's one of my most handsome Sims, I'd say. Anyways, so the first thing I did was work on her hair. It was really hard finding a ponytail that really fit, so this is the closest we're gonna get because I didn't want to give her a braid, but I wanted a ponytail, so this is kind of cute. I like it. Then she has this little star pendant in her hair. There's nothing I have that's super close to that. I have stars. I actually couldn't find them here, but I did find these, and I think it gives a general idea of what her hair is supposed to look like. So then I just moved on to her outfit. It was a little hard finding a good outfit because she's got I guess this armor piece, and it's also kind of a dress. So I ended up using the exact same armor I gave Gracie in the end because there was no blue and white outfit that wasn't a dress, and she's a knight. She needs some protection. I added a couple more details just to make it look better, and she's all done. And I move on to character creation this time. I started with Becky. I'm not gonna lie, I was doing these at 1 a.m. and it was purely based off of my memory. It's been a long week for me, and so I was like, let me just get this done. So they may not be my most accurate Sims, but I think they still look good. This is all based off of their official Bannerfall art and also my memory of what they look like in real life. So please forgive me if people look not super accurate. I was debating for a little bit, just skipping making a video this week, but I'm like, I said I'd do one every Friday. Let me do one every Friday. Anyways, I gave her some hair. I couldn't find anything, again, super accurate. So this is the closest we're gonna get, but I think it's pretty cute. I gave her this green night outfit, which I think is adorable. Then, customized the rest of her, gave her some attributes, and I moved on to my next one, which is actually Cam Bam. Again, I'm going 100% based off of memory here, so he's not the most accurate looking. I don't really spend all my time memorizing random YouTubers' faces. That's a little weird. Anyways, I made him based off of what I could remember and also his art, so I think he looks decent. I wasn't sure what shade of blonde to give him, honestly. I settled for this one. I'm not 100% sure on it though. Of course, gave him his beard and glasses, and then I moved on to his outfit, which his outfit, I looked for a bit. I don't even know what that one is. I looked for a bit. There's nothing that's super accurate, so I had to go default sorcerer outfit again, unfortunately. Then picked his attributes, and I moved on to the next sim I'm creating. Next is Cherry Fire. Now I know she technically has black hair in real life, but I'm going based off of Bannerfall, so kind of a brownish reddish hair there. I spent a lot of time struggling on her face because I was like, oh wait, she has technically face revealed before. Let me go look and see if it's accurate. And then I could find no videos, no clips. I found one clip and I was looking at it and I'm like, I can barely see her in this. Let me just attempt. And in my opinion, as long as she looks good, it's not too important how accurate she looks. So her face, it's fine, I guess. I worked my best. Then I went for hair. Now, like I say in some other videos, Sims 4 does not have long hair options for women. It's weird. Why is it all shoulder length? So this is the closest one I could find. Again, we're going closest enough. Gave her some makeup, which for some reason I found really hard to find anything that would look good on her. I wanted to stick with the red outfit she had, so some red makeup. I don't know why it was so hard to find. Once I was done with the makeup, then I had to give her her tiara, crown, whatever you want to call it. I cycled through a couple, because some of them look good, some of them look bad. I was gonna go with this one, but I don't think it looks too good with her hair, so I went back to this one. It's cute, I like it. And then I had the perfect dress for her. Took me a bit to find it, and then I cycled through a couple colors to see what would be most accurate, but I ended up settling on this one. I think she looks gorgeous, gave her some attributes, and then I moved on to my next sim. I don't know why she's green. Anyways, we're making Katie next. Turned her from not being green, started working on her face, again, purely from memory, purely from fan art, all that kind of thing. It was actually pretty hard making her because I was really confused on her hair color, because I'm pretty sure she's blonde, but then her fan art has like this reddish brown hair color, so I went with this one at first. I ended up not liking it, but I don't know, I don't know what color to give her for her hair. I gave her this hat, and I'm looking really stupid on her. I had no hats that would be accurate to her one in Bannerfall, so I ended up just getting rid of it because it looked really stupid. I gave her more bangs. I think it looks better. And then I gave her her night outfit. I think she looks pretty cute. Anyways, then I moved on to my next sim after making her shorter, and the next sim is actually Kitty. When I was looking for custom content for Kitty, the little feather in her hair with I could not find anything like that. So she just has like a random feather stuck in her hair. I don't know. I tried. Her outfit is very complicated to create when you don't have too many resources. So, I tried. First off, I had to give her her hair, which is a bob, and I don't know why I couldn't find any good bobs in The Sims 4. They all had bangs. She doesn't have bangs. So this one, I didn't like it. This one, bangs. Also, I know that Kitty isn't technically in the Red Kingdom anymore. I already made Forsey in the Blue Kingdom before, everything happened. So I was like, I didn't make her in the Blue Kingdom, so I have to make her in the Red Kingdom. Whenever any lore happens, you can just assume I'm a couple days behind. I'm too busy to watch the stream, so I gotta catch up days later when I have time. Anyways, making her outfit was a little hard because there was no shirt that was completely accurate. So this is the closest I could get. I think it's super cute though. And then I wanted to go with green pants and then tall brown boots because I feel like that's the most accurate I could get. So as you can see here, added the boots, tried to make them as tall as possible, and then gave her a little scarf. And to make up for the fact that she's not completely accurate, now she's a cat. And I think it's cute. So that's Kitty. I gave her some attributes, and I was all done. Saved the household, and I moved them in. I know this week's video is probably going to be the shortest one I ever make, but in my defense, big exam this week, probably failed it, studied all week, it was horrible. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let me know in the comments who you'd want to see next, if you like this video, anything you want to say. I love hearing feedback. It makes me happy. Alright, bye bye!